Hi everyone, this is Danielle. Good to finally be seeing each other. It's been a whole semester without actually being face to face. So today I'm going to be talking about my research proposal, which is on menarche, and specifically how the celebration and the honoring of this event supports the development of self and social identity in young women, specifically in the United States. Um, First, I feel like I should probably just address what menarche is, because what I found while working on this project over the semester, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different people about it, and every single person, 100% of the people that I spoke with, did not know what menarche was. And I would say 90 to 95% of those people were women who have all experienced menarche and still didn't know what it was. So menarche is actually the first occurrence of the menstrual cycle. So the very first time in our adolescent age, the first time that we begin to bleed. And I even had people ask me, "Are you talking about a butterfly?" Like, they just didn't know what it was. So I mean, it's kind of point in case as to how this event is something that's actually treated as very taboo, and we don't talk about it much. And if we do, it's in a very scientific way. Maybe young women learn about it in their sex ed classes or in science classes. They may hear about it through friends. They might hear about it through movies or TV somehow. I actually found some information while I was working on this paper that talked about it being considered a hygiene crisis. If you look at any ads for feminine products, they talk about, being clean or like not smelling weird, or, it's just, they make it sound like it's something that is supposed to be hidden and is gross. And what I really wanted to focus on with this research is has to do with how that affects young women, how it affects them to have to hide and isolate, and the vulnerability that comes along with that, and not just with the self, but also in context to a the social context, because this is something that young women are going to be experiencing every single month, and for them to not be able to talk about it and to feel like they need to hide it is something that's definitely going to affect the way that they engage with others in their community. And some of the things that I have in my paper talk about how even things as simple as regular activities like going swimming, or certain things that you may or may not wear, or certain events that you may or may not want to go to, but you're not feeling well, and not wanting to be able to talk about that. So culturally, there are a lot of other cultures who, as a whole culture, they may celebrate this. It may be something that's specifically honored and talked about and is celebrated. But specifically in our modern culture in America, it is very rare for that to happen. And depending on the cultural background that a child's coming from, they may or may not talk about it at all. I read accounts of people saying that there was zero acknowledgement, which is exactly what I experienced as a young woman of 11 years old. But then there were other women who said that they were literally slapped across the face, which was apparently a cultural conditioning. I have also read that some people, it was just like, okay, here's a tampon, here's some sort of feminine product, like basically just figure it out. And then there have been women who in all sorts of little ways may have been honored, or they felt comfortable to talk about it. So I work with children, and some of them are actually coming into the adolescent age where that's something that they're going to be experiencing. And what I noticed is that they're very comfortable talking with me about it, because I have always been so open with it, even when they were very young. And and they don't talk about it necessarily with their parents. And I've just been really intrigued by this. So actually my research project is actually going to be, my method is going to be compiling personal accounts, personal submissions from people, ideally from all ages. My ideal would be from anywhere between age 10 and upwards of 50 or 60. I mean, it could be any age older, of women who would share their experiences of how they were treated, how it was acknowledged or not acknowledged, and their perceptions of that. So if there were younger women who were going to fill out this personal, their personal accounts, it would be, maybe what their experiences are of having been, like, having dialogue about menarche or about the menstrual cycle in general, and whether or not that happened, their feelings about it coming up, and also, young women as they're experiencing it now, and then all the way up into older generations of women that, them sharing their experiences of what it was for them and what their advice would be, how they may have wanted it to be different. But ultimately, I wanted to compile that information and put it into a zine that would share, all of these stories and their advice and experiences surrounding that, and then to also add in practical information and suggestions for other rituals or ways to celebrate, and to just kind of open up a dialogue. I mean, I think in the future it could be amazing to have some sort of a website that would contain this information and also allow people to share their stories, because ultimately, if we're not getting it from our culture, maybe we could start building that up within our smaller communities. So that is basically the project. I may or may not be missing some things in there, but the way that I would want to get that information is by putting out a call to submissions, or a call for submissions on Instagram and probably Facebook, and using a questionnaire that would have some closed-ended, very specific questions, and then some that would be very qualitative and open-ended, and just compiling that information all in one place where people could share it and learn from it. So yeah, that's basically it, and I'm about at 8 minutes, so I'm gonna go. But thank you, and I really hope this video works, because I've already recorded it 3 times and the video just shut down. So hopefully I'll be able to get this to you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.